The Taming of the Tights, written and read by Louise Rennison. Chapter 1. Filling My Tights Again. Woohoo! And chug-a-lug-a-ding-dong. I'm on the train, chugging back to Dother Hall, the theatre of dreams. Once more getting ready to fill my performance tights. Chasing the golden slippers of success. Preparing to let my feet bleed, if necessary. That's what Sidonie Beaver, our headmistress, says we must do if we want to be stars in the theatre, darlings. And this term, I'm going to fill my tights as much as is humanly possible. Who would have thought that me, Tallulah Casey, a gangly Irish person, would be back here for the autumn term at a performing arts college in the heart of the famous Dales of Yorkshire? Ooh, I think we're stopping at Skipley Station. I'll get my case down and hop off. Oof. Jumping Jehoshaphat and his dad. It's bouncing down. Skipley is famous for its otters. I'm not surprised. If this rain keeps up, I'll be part otter by Wednesday. Skipley's so proud of its otters that the station sign reads, Skipley, home of the West Riding Otter. But last time I was here, some Yorkshire hooligan altered the sign so it read, Skipley, home of the West Riding Botty. Honestly. I'm squelching across towards it. That's where Cain was standing when I left at the end of last term. Cain Hinchcliffe. Local bad boy made. Bad. I remember him winking at me as the train pulled out, with his dark hair whipping around his face and his dark eyes looking and looking at me, licking his lips, holding a dead rabbit in his hand, making the dead rabbit he had in his hand wave its paw at me, and rub its eye with its paw as if it was crying. He thinks that kind of thing is funny. I dragged my case along the platform towards the sign. I hope it's been cleaned up because it doesn't give a very good impression of the... Hang on a minute. The hooligan has been at it again. Now the sign reads, Skipley, home of the breast-riding otter. That is just wrong. That shouldn't be allowed. What if American people were on the train? They have a seizure if you say Pratt. I left the station and trundled across the bridge to catch the bus to Heckmondwike. I'm absolutely soaking now. The rain has got in through the front of my anorak and jumper and into my new bra, or new corker holder, as me and my friends say. I hope my corkers don't shrink. Ha 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 ha! What larks! I'm going to put corker shrinking in my performance art diary, or as I call it, my darkly demanding damson diary, under Ideas for Modern Dance. A bus flew round the bend and screeched to a halt. The warm, welcoming bus opening its welcoming doors to welcome me back to my... A cloud of smoke billowed out. The driver was smoking a pipe. Uh-oh. I recognised that balaclava. It belonged to Mrs. Bottomley. She did part-time bus driving as well as cage fighting in Leeds. I said, Single to Heckmondwike, please. Mrs. Bottomley repeated, Single to Heckmondwike, please, in a horrible, posh, simpering way as she slammed the ticket down. Then she said, looking down at my legs, Keep those bloody legs off my seats and mind how you go. She accelerated violently before I had time to sit down, and I fell onto the lap of a bloke with a guide dog. I said, I'm really sorry, but the bus... He said, Is it full then, the bus? Is there nowhere else to sit? You're a bloody big lad. My legs'll be numb by the time we get to Heckmondwike. At a red traffic light, I staggered to a spare seat. Everyone on the bus was looking at me and grumbling. From that bloody dither hall. Simpleton, I think. They're allus messing about in beards and tights, sitting on blind people's knees. Bloody daft. It was raining so hard you couldn't see the road ahead. It didn't make Mrs. Bottomley slow down, though. There was a bump and I thought I saw a sheep fly past the window, but I can't be sure. Then as we passed Grimbottom Peak, it stopped raining and a watery sun came out and a little rainbow appeared. Oh, maybe the rainbow was a sign that everything was going to be all right. All of my hopes and dreams would come true. I'd become a star, but more importantly, get a proper boyfriend. Oh, and also I'd have a corker growth spurt. Not just one corker, Both, I mean.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?